The simplicity of life. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills, there lived an old man named Alaric. His life was one of profound simplicity, untouched by the chaos of the bustling cities beyond the horizon. Alaric had no interest in riches, fame, or power, and his modest home reflected the simplicity of his desires. He lived in a small stone cottage with a wooden door that creaked in the wind, surrounded by a garden of wildflowers and vegetables. His days began with the rising sun and ended with the setting of it, always in rhythm with the natural world around him. His sole possessions were a few handmade tools, a weathered book of wisdom passed down from his father, and the memories of a life well lived. Alaric's greatest joy was tending to his garden, where he grew food for himself and shared the surplus with his neighbors. He found peace in the unhurried moments of planting seeds, nurturing them, and watching them grow. Every day was a lesson in patience, in humility, and in the beauty of life's simple pleasures. While others hurried through life in search of more money, more recognition, more excitement, Alaric understood that the essence of happiness lay in less. His quiet existence was not a rejection of the world, but an embrace of its true nature, a life lived not in pursuit of fleeting desires, but in harmony with the timeless rhythms of the earth. Despite his peaceful life, people from far and wide came to seek Alaric's wisdom, curious about his unwavering contentment. One such visitor was a young man named Edward, who had grown weary of his frantic life in the city. Edward was successful by many measures. He had a lucrative job, a luxurious apartment, and a constant stream of social invitations. Yet, despite all his material wealth, he felt a void that nothing seemed to fill. He was always chasing the next goal, the next promotion, the next adventure, hoping that one day he would stumble upon happiness. Hearing about Alaric's reputation, Edward made the long journey to the village, eager to understand the secret to the old man's contentment. When Edward arrived, he found Alaric sitting quietly in his garden, enjoying a simple meal of bread and fruit. Edward wasted no time in asking his question. "How is it that you live such a simple life, yet seem so happy? I have everything one could want, yet I feel like I have nothing." Alaric smiled gently, pausing for a moment to collect his thoughts. "Happiness, my young friend, is not something you can chase. The more you seek it in the world outside, the more elusive it becomes. It is only when you stop running and learn to be still that you begin to see the beauty in what you already have. Life is not about adding more, but about finding contentment in less." Edward, however, was not satisfied with this answer. He pressed further, eager for a solution that he could apply immediately. "But how can I learn to be still when the world around me is constantly pushing me to do more, achieve more? How can simplicity compete with the thrill of success, the rush of adrenaline that comes with ambition?" Alaric chuckled softly, his eyes twinkling with the wisdom of age. "The thrill of success is like a firework, bright and exciting, but it fades quickly, leaving only darkness behind. Simplicity, on the other hand, is like the steady glow of a lantern. It does not blind you with its brilliance, but it guides you through the darkest nights. When you build your life around simplicity, you create a foundation that cannot be shaken by the whims of fate. Ambition is not inherently wrong, but it must be tempered by the understanding that there is more to life than the pursuit of achievements. There is value in quiet moments, in acts of kindness, in the beauty of a sunrise. These things may not earn you accolades, but they will fill your heart with a lasting joy." Days turned into weeks as Edward spent time with Alaric, slowly learning to adopt the old man's ways. He began to help with the garden, his hands, once accustomed to typing on a keyboard, now covered in dirt from planting seeds. He shared in the simple meals, tasted the fruits of his labor, and marveled at how much satisfaction could be found in such unremarkable moments. The constant rush of his previous life began to fade, replaced by a sense of peace he had never known. Edward came to understand that simplicity was not about depriving oneself of pleasures or ambitions, but about recognizing the abundance in what one already had. It was about shedding the layers of complexity that modern life imposed, stripping away the distractions and noise until all that was left was the quiet, steady pulse of life itself. And in that quietness, Edward found clarity. He realized that he had spent so much time running after things that he forgot to appreciate the journey itself. Simplicity was not a destination, but a way of being, a mindset that allowed him to truly live in the present. When Edward finally returned to the city, he carried with him the lessons of Alaric's simple life. He no longer measured his worth by his accomplishments or his possessions, but by the quality of his days. He still pursued his ambitions, but with a newfound sense of balance and perspective.